Kennedy.
Ms. Davis. Here. Mr. Kaiser.
Here.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Here.
Ms. Perkins. Here. Mr. Walter.
Here.
Council, you received the minutes from the October 13th meeting. Any comments or a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Ms. Perkins.
Yes.
Mr. Walter.
Yes.
You also received current expenses. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve the expenses as submitted.
I'm sorry, what is the Active Network?
That's the park and pool online software stuff.
Okay. Is that something new or something we've always had, or?
It's a new thing.
Okay.
Does it replace something else or something?
No, I'm not sure where Kevin is. He can speak to it.
It's
Yeah.
it's a new online registration portal that we have that we'll be introducing for the campground and the park, shelter house and youth building reservations, as well as all of our memberships at the pool, swim lessons, pool parties, things like that. So you'll be able to do that online. We're getting ready to roll that out soon. We're going to roll it out. We were supposed to have our test run with it last Wednesday, and unfortunately I couldn't do that. So hopefully next Wednesday we'll have a dry run, and then we'll go live with it by the first of the year. So it'll give us a couple of months to work with it till we really get busy.
Is that a one-time purchase, or is that every month now?
That is the one-time. It's a portion of the one-time expense,
Okay.
and then there is a small per transaction cost.
Okay.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Ms. Perkins.
Yes.
Mr. Walter.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We have a lot of additional people here this evening. We have some Girl Scouts from Troop 2945. And I think they have a presentation for us. Is that correct?
They have something to present.
Okay. So what do you have
We have a check for the Fireworks Foundation.
for the fireworks committee? Okay, wonderful. How nice. Leslie, you wanna?
Sure, I'll be happy to take that off your hands. Thank you. These young ladies had a bake sale at, you were at July 4th, is that correct? Yes, and they worked at a little electric house, and they decorated it beautifully and sold their little cakes and pies. And what else did you have? You had
It was lemonade.
lemonade, that's right. Wow, $92. Thank you very, very much. It's so appreciated. So next year, if we can get fireworks go on, a couple of those up there in the sky will be pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. You don't have to stay if you don't want to, but thank you.
But you're welcome to stay if you'd like.
This actually helps towards one of their badges as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Moving into reports. Renee, do you have anything?
No, ma'am.
Chief.
Over here. Good evening, everyone. I have some things to report on. Officer Greenbaum, as most of you know, is the training officer for the police department, and he is also what I have do community training, and also with school training I have him do that as well. So he's been busy here the last couple of weeks. Jonathan Alder had an in-service day last week, their school staff did, and he was able to meet with the entire district, with the entire staff, and they did enhanced lockdown training and also covered active shooter training. He went over each one of the schools in the district to go over their school safety assessment. We'll be following up further with Gary Chapman, the superintendent, to sum up our findings and make some recommendations going forward. But this is the second year in a row we've done this during their in-service day, so it's going well. On top of that, Officer Greenbaum also spoke at the Plain City Lions Club, gave a presentation on active shooter events. And then, speaking of active shooters, you probably all have heard in the news the unfortunate, and what we're hearing too much of here lately is school shootings. There was another one in Marysville, Washington, and we have to prepare for that, which we have been as a department. It's something we pray that we'll never see, but we can't turn a blind eye to it. We must be prepared for it. So in light of that, we acquired some patrol rifles for our agency. The officers were all trained in these patrol rifles. It's going to give us the ability in the unfortunate event of not just an active shooter event, but other types of situations where the officers can be protected if you have to match firepower with firepower. Again, we pray this never happens, but you must prepare for it. And on top of that, I want to thank Chief Wiseman of the London Police Department for giving up his training officer for 2 days to our agency, which was Greg Perkins, to do the training for us. And so everything went well, and we'll be initiating these in the field soon. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of media coverage about militarizing police departments. It's not what we're looking to do. We're just looking to prepare, take care of our community. We're not looking at getting MRAPs or armored vehicles or helicopters or Hummers or anything like that. So this isn't a step to go that direction. This is simply a step so we can protect our community. On top of that, Officer Greenbaum also went to the elementary for all the first graders and did, they have 6 classes in first grade, and did a presentation with them on crosswalk safety. So we're going to be doing some more interaction within the schools with the grades K through 4 at the elementary for safety topics. This is just the first series. And I attended the Plain City Business Association meeting last week as a guest and spoke with them regarding police department operations, and also attended a Madison County law enforcement meeting in London. Last but not least, reminder to everyone, trick or treat is Thursday from 6 p to 8 p. Please be careful, drive slowly, watch for children. So that's all I had to report on.
Any questions, council? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, President Pro Tem. Oh, I skipped, sorry, jumped you too quick. Village Administrator Hall.
I just have a couple of things. We're in full swing of leaf and brush collection. It was a very good weather weekend, so we've got a lot of work to do on the streets this week. Also, the water towers are just about complete, and we hope that both towers will be online in about 7 to 10 days. That's all I have.
Questions? All right, now, President Pro Tem.
Just a reminder, everyone, we're meeting, I think, next Tuesday, November 4th at 6:30 to kind of hash out some budget, and so come with questions. I would expect, is it third? Send that.
Also on that night, the Design Review Board's meeting at 6 here. We want, I think they only have one thing, so they may be done by 6:30.
Should we just push it back to 6:45? Is it be done by that time? Yes, do. Okay, so everything I said is totally wrong. So November the 3rd at 6:45. So come with your concerns or your issues, and we'll get started right away around that time.
Thank you. And our solicitor is out of town tonight, can't be here, so move to planning and zoning.
Yeah, we met last week. We did go over the wind energy or the alternative energy. Dan sent us out a final copy this week, so the next meeting we'll just briefly go through it, so we'll likely be coming after we meet next time. We also got the first copy, first revision of the property maintenance code, and we'll be discussing it at the next meeting as well. Quite a few changes in it, and so it might take a little more time with that one. We did review, the last meeting, council meeting, was brought up about our ordinances regarding our hunting. We did look at those. They are strictly hunting, so when it's in the ordinance, it's strictly for the hunting piece. So taken out of context, it looks a little different. So they did not see any need for change there.
That was the conflict that the gentleman had brought up.
And then John brought up that there's a couple of new retailers coming in. So Plain City Florist moved on Main Street. You've probably seen their display. They also added the window to the side, so it's a little more visible than before. And then there's a organic health tea store going in as well on Bigger Road. So,
Actually, straight back behind the florist, the back of that building.
I think that's it.
Thank you. ECA.
EZA.
We'll go to CIC.
Madison County CIC meeting is tomorrow evening. And Union County is November 5th.
BCA.
Nothing going on.
Okay. Park.
The park committee will meet on November 12th at 6:30, and one of the big goals is to start to develop the parks master plan, so we'll get back with you on that.
You meet here.
Here, yeah, that's right.
Can I piggyback that, Sean, if you don't
Sure.
mind? I had in my meeting with the Rails to Trails organization, I became a member of that, so I'll be attending those quarterly, I believe. Anyway, I did learn that they have the funds to bring the trail into Plain City if we have the means. So if I can get, I don't know if you have it, Kevin, I don't have contact information for the quarry, but if you've got someone I can call, I'm certainly happy to open those lines of communication. Again, I understand they've probably already been tapped, but who knows, it's been a while. So they're still interested, they have a limited amount of funds and they have some other options, so it does seem that if we wait too long or too much time expires, that we might lose out on that opportunity. So anyway, we meet again in January, but prior to that time, I'll contact the quarry and see what I can accomplish.
Okay. Sorry, Tim.
That's all.
All right. Personnel and finance.
Nothing to report.
Fire.
The other thing I want to say about the fire is that the levy's coming up this election. I want everybody to think about voting for it. When you got to keep the fire department well funded so we don't have to lower our standards in it. And that's about all I got to say.
I did bring in some pamphlets on the levy. If anybody would like some, they're right there. You're welcome to take one home.
Thank you. Okay. Moving into old business.
Outcome.
Oh, you're out there.
Christmas under the clock, December 6th, Saturday, 5 to 9. Everybody should try to be here.
Yeah.
Gonna unveil the clock tower fundraising drive as well that night, so it'll be a good time.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Old business. We have the second reading of 1614, accepting the infrastructure section of Phase 1 and 2 of Copperville.
Motion to approve second reading of 1614.
Second.
Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Abstain?
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second reading of 1714, 2014 budget amendment, the refund of the engineering fees for Homewood.
Motion to pass reading 1714.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Ms. Perkins.
Yes.
Mr. Walter.
Yes.
Did anyone sign in and ask to speak to council? I did. I can't see. Amy?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, some of the residents are asking, once again, about the council minutes. The ones that are posted currently are back at June the 9th. So people are wanting to know what's going on in the council. And we've been having this problem for the last couple of years, where the council minutes get updated when a community member comes and asks. So I said that that you guys were working on the budget, and they were rather surprised considering the minutes are June the 9th. So I just wanted to bring that up.
We'll check into it. We have, Tom has been doing it for us, and so maybe there's just a disconnect there.
He's made arrangements on how it should be done, else, well, to give
Okay.
instructions on how it should be done. So,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Amy.
Whose normal responsibility is that? Is that Regina's?
It used to be Annabelle's,
Okay.
and as you know, she's gone.
Right.
So Tom had offered to do that for us, and he has been doing it.
Okay. Is he going to continue, or is he?
from my understanding is, he did it and gave instructions on how it's to be done going forward, so.
To Regina?
I'll have to ask him who he gave the instructions to.
Okay.
All right, so we'll check into that and make sure it gets done. All right, Mr. Walter.
Yes.
Kevin told me that you were interested in speaking to council. My understanding of what your concern is that you're being asked to provide minutes with more
With minutes
clarification.
on April 14th, they just weren't specific enough. Council approved of me tapping into John Hushard's private sanitary line at 297 South Jefferson, and all it stated was they gave me permission to tap into a private sewer line. That was it. So I need those minutes to be clarified, more specific. Like
Okay, so-
Plain City Bowling Incorporated has permission to tap into 297 South Jefferson, has council's approval.
All right, so what was in the letter that we provided you, I'm just gonna read that part and see if that's sufficient.
Well,
Council.
John wants council's approval. Council gave me approval to tap on his line, but it wasn't specific as far as the address. It just gave me approval to tap into a private line. What I need is to tap into his private line. I could tap into any private line if you want to read the ordinance, the minutes of April 14th. Just need to be more specific on the minutes.
Mayor, I've read the letter that was sent to him, and it was pretty specific, but I've got a feeling that Mr. Walter is caught between a rock and a hard place, and simply like a two-sentence statement in tonight's minutes
Yeah, that's
that
fine.
clarified the April 19th minutes should suffice. And then council could approve those minutes at our next meeting. I think that, there's been a lot of discussion, but I think that will resolve the issue.
So just to clarify for council, you did approve that he could tap into the
Exactly.
sewer line.
Just
And
be more
it is
specific as far as.
Plain City Lanes at 325 South Jefferson, who will be tapping into
297.
297 South Jefferson.
Right.
So, you all agree that's what you agreed to? Okay, all right. Good enough.
Thank you.
We'll restate that in these minutes.
Thank you.
Motion for that, just do it.
We probably should.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we read that clarification into our minutes for this evening to clarify the April 19th minutes.
Second.
Was it 14th or 19th?
14th.
14th.
Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser.
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Ms. Perkins.
Yes.
Mr. Walter.
Yes.
Okay, council, the second reading of 1814, the 2015 budget approval.
I think we
I
agreed
thought
to
we were
table
waiting
that
on that.
We,
to November 10th.
third,
Well, the discussion, I wasn't sure if
what.
Oh, after the,
Yeah.
you're talking, after the work session, okay. Okay.
Did you all have a chance to read the email that I'd sent out?
Did.
Do you want to have a discussion about that now, or?
We can, what?
Well, I said in my email that I would try to contact those groups today. I did manage to get a hold of one, John Connolly from the Novak, he was the Novak Consulting Group. Had a long discussion with him about what he does and what his firm does. Basically what they will do is look at every aspect of our financial health, our loans, where our money goes, where it comes in at, how we can save money, where we can better spend money, what we are not spending enough money on. They'll evaluate personnel. They basically look at our financial health from top to bottom and advise us accordingly. My big question, of course, was, well, what does this cost? He said normally they kind of scale it to the municipality. For example, they do Cincinnati, they're responsible for Dayton. So they have some very big clients. This group is out of Cincinnati. But anyway, after talking with him for about an hour, he said what you would imagine it would cost would be about $25,000 to do that. But that's not just a one-time shot. That is them working with us for an entire year. Throughout our planning sessions, all they would come to our budget meetings, personnel and finance, and then basically tell us where we're not spending money, where we should be, or where we're spending too much money. Personally, I think it's a wonderful idea because, as I said in my email, I'm not a financial expert, yet we are responsible for a large amount of money, and I want to make sure we're all making the decisions as best we can. Personally, I think it's a reasonable fee, but that's up to the rest of you. I haven't spoken to the other, the Rock Mill Financial folks I didn't get a hold of today. So.
I had brought up the other firm that I had worked with previously, they do the same thing.
Okay.
They might be a little bit cheaper. I'm familiar with the Novak company as well, so they do a good job.
I think maybe putting out something on through municipal league, looking for a request for qualifications that we want to do this. I think the likelihood that it could go above 25,000, we need to be prepared that it would have to be competitive, and I'd like to be able to choose the best firm.
Yeah, I agree with that. He did say that he was willing to come in either one of our meetings in November and tell us about what he does and what they do. He did indicate that, I don't know if it's a bunch of smoke, but generally speaking, that they charge much more in the lines of $75,000 to $100,000 to partner with municipalities for what he was willing to do. Said he had some affiliations with Plain City. He used to live in the area, not in Plain City, but very close, so on and so forth. But he had actually, by the time he called me back, he knew about many of us, had researched and talked about you, Renee, and knew much about the village. So he did quite his homework. So I was impressed, but I agree. No reason to simply go with them without researching other opportunities. But I mean, personally, I think this is something that, for the cost, we should have. Because he said, again, he would go through all of our loans. He brought up the bond. He's like, I see you have a pool. You're paying way too much on your rates. So he would do that with basically everything, whether we should be leasing our equipment, buying our equipment. So it may save us more than $25,000 annually. I don't know, but it certainly seems, at least for a year or 2 years, to get some solid direction that we are doing what's right by everybody.
I agree. I looked up comprehensive plan consultants, and there was postings there requesting many municipalities about the size of ours out with requests for qualifications. So I know that there's a format by which to express our interest in somebody, people presenting their capabilities to us.
Which I did have a meeting with Josh Lapp and Designing Local again this week with Kevin and Leslie. And they laid out some of their services. The first thing they stated that we should look at is setting up a strategic plan and visioning, which will help with trying to get developers into the city. And so what he would like to do is actually work with us for a couple hours to kind of find out what we want and what we're looking for, and kind of see what we're kind of visioning before he puts a proposal together. They also do the comprehensive planning, and then they also look at the preparations for becoming a city as well, which is something Kevin had asked about. So they do kind of everything, but definitely said one of the first main goals would be that strategic plan and visioning, because that will help any developer coming in wants to see that. So if you guys are interested, he can certainly come in during our work session or during one of the meetings or a separate meeting. Just let me know what you'd like to do. It'd be free of charge for that initial, and then he put the proposal together.
I don't think work session's probably the time, but maybe the following meeting. How much time did you think you needed?
He said an hour or two.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what David told me that it would take an hour or so to talk to us.
So we would probably need to schedule another work session, do something like that. You think, Sean?
Yeah, December. We wanna wait till the first?
That certainly leaves the budget issue out there, which, of course, we have the option just to kind of freeze it until we, figure out what we're going to do. I asked this guy how long would this process take, at least initially, to start getting opinions on what we're doing, whether we're doing it correctly or where we can improve. He said about 60 days.
That might, between the preliminary budget for 2015 and the final budget, be about 90 days, correct, Renee?
He said he would make himself available, much like the gentleman you spoke to, whenever we needed to.
Two different things.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly would be okay with waiting for him until December. I think that's not something that's crucial to the budget. While it helps, I think yours would be much more beneficial. Yes, thank you.
Do you want me to call Mr. Conley and get him in here to speak with us?
I think that would be a good thing.
Our next regular scheduled meeting, next regular meeting?
Which is the 10th or 10th?
All right.
If we go out with a request for qualifications, after we've invited him here, is that going to be an insult to the gentleman?
I can certainly tell him that that's what we're going to do.
Okay, I just want to be, I don't want to blindside him.
No, and I think it'll also give us more information upon which to do just that, Bob, that we will have more information to better do that. So I will let him know that's what we're doing, so there's no surprises and no problem.
Good,
Okay.
thank you. Okay. We're at the end of our agenda, council. Anyone have anything else? Wow. All right,
Ready? Motion to adjourn.
thank you.
You girls got a short one.